Hey y'all, Willis Logan here in Southwest Virginia, specifically the Roanoke Valley, where I serve a church, St. Mark's Fincastle. This area also happens to be a place where I grew up. And it's a funny thing about living in your 40s, a place that you came of age in. You can't escape your past, in other words. Some days that's harder for me than others. And recently I ran into an old friend from middle school. P.S. I did have a crush on her. And it reminded me of my 6th grade year. So much happened to that year. I hit puberty. I got a super deep voice and a weird little mustache. I coupled that with braces and glasses, and I grew 5 inches that year. So I walked like a deer, and I couldn't control the seesaw anymore. That doggone seesaw, for whatever reason, our recess time was dominated by seesaws. That's all anybody wanted to play on. And I would get on one and I would go way up and I would have this new view of my full 5 inches, allowing me to have a different perspective. But then I would be fearful and anticipate the slamming back down of my Gumby-like legs as my knees hit my chins and I crumpled to the ground. I was up 1 minute and down the next. And 30 years later, I feel the exact same way in that exact same acute struggle as we navigate the age of Corona. 1 minute with our family, we're enjoying games of Monopoly or riding bikes in the middle of the day or having perfect Zoom school time. And then the next, the horns are out, the decimals level goes up, collapse is imminent, meltdowns happen across the board, screaming, yelling, and the kids even yell too. In church, our life feels so full. We even have a pandemic Zoom support group that's full of grace and love. Our Sunday worship is virtual, yet super vibrant and engaging. And then I think about tomorrow. I fall into one of those rabbit holes of what will the future look like for our church. The joy of these intense, engaged moments of family and friends and life are met with an equal resistance of grief and despair. Will my 5-year-old start kindergarten with a mask? When can he hug his grandmother? We all know about the cruelties of the world, but we don't want our kids to know about them yet. And the truth of the whipsaw of life is that it's our constant state, and it is a universal truth of human existence. Because we might think we can control that seesaw, but we can't. In the stark nakedness of the coronavirus, this fact has never been more true or acutely felt. So in the rubble of these daily rumblings, the Psalms have been a gentle yet forceful reminder for me that God's people, you and me, have long experienced raw vulnerability and destruction. John Prine sang, "You are up one day and down the next. You're in a half an inch of water or happy enchilada, and you think you're going to drown. That's the way that the world goes round." The world twists and breaks and gives and takes, but God's presence does not bend, does not break, does not disappear, does not hide, does not move, does not fall away. Psalm 46 reminds us that nations are in uproar and kingdoms fall. He lifts his voice, the earth melts. The Lord Almighty is with us. Nations do feel like they're in uproar today. Kingdoms do feel like they're falling. But the good news is that God is the bulwark against the whole enchilada of life, a mighty fortress of mercy, grace, and love. And that's the truth today, tomorrow, and until the end of the age. Peace, and I wish you all the best.